Hi, my name is James Burnfin, and this is my Yellow Dig video to discuss the 4 teaching strategies I did this week. Uh, I did it on introducing introductions for my Speech 1 class. Introductions really set you up for success. If you do not have a good introduction, it doesn't really matter how well you do for the rest of the speech. It's just not going to you're not going to get that interest from your audience that you really need. So I spent a lot of time on my introductions. So I went ahead and picked that as my topic this time around and used 4 different teaching strategies. Obviously, instructor centered. For the first one, I chose lecture. And the thing about lecture is I don't like to use it often, but one of the biggest things we can do for our students is model, right? And model what we want them to look like and what we want them to do. Well, lecture is essentially a speech presentation, and so I try to model good introductions using my lectures, especially when I talk about introductions. I give them a introduction lecture, and then I have them evaluate me and the introduction I gave to them, evaluate what key components did I have. Did I have an attention getter? Did I have, or did I preview the main points? Did I cite sources? And did I establish credibility? That sorts of thing in my introduction. So lecture is actually useful in that piece of teaching for sure. So for interactive, the teaching strategy I use is cooperative learning. Students are placed in small groups and work together to achieve a common goal, obviously. So for me, I print out transcripts of speeches and then I cut them into individual sentences or lines anyways, and then the students will have to reconstruct the printed transcript, placing the sentences into the correct order based on our order of things we need to accomplish in an introduction. Where does the attention getter go? Where does the preview main points go in introduction? So they'd have to piece that together almost like a puzzle. They have to work in small groups for that. Individualize for teacher strategy, I did active learning. So Speech 1 students will be able to construct an introduction to a presentation utilizing at least 80% of the components in a video recorded presentation. So for this lesson, students are assigned a certain individual whose likeness, whose poster is in my classroom. You see the names there: Emma Gonzalez, Jack Andraka, Malala Yousafzai, and Ta-Nehisi Coates. And they have to research these people and then construct an effective, efficient introduction to who these people are and introduce the rest of the class to them. I have students use Flipgrid, a recording app on the iPad. We're a one-to-one iPad school, to record themselves, and then that way they can re-record themselves and actually forces themselves to watch them produce this introduction, which is very key because when you just give it in front of an audience, you're kind of just focusing on not embarrassing yourself. But when you record yourself, you're actually having to look at yourself. What am I doing well? What am I doing wrong? So that's on their own individual, and it works pretty well. Finally, for experiential, I have case method, essentially. This is an opportunity for my entire class. This one is a full lesson on a slam poem, but as part of it is they have to give an introduction to their slam poem. They have to introduce who they are, what the topic is, and give a little preview to us about what the slam poem is about. So as part of this, they compete against each other. And I have 4 sections of speech and compete within the class. The winner of each class then goes to what we call mentoring time. And I have the entire freshman academy there during mentoring time as the 4 finalists compete against each other. Last year it went really, really well. Last fall I didn't get to do in the spring because of COVID-19, but in the fall it went really, really well, and they really bought into it. And I think that helped. So that is the 4s I chose, and thanks very much.